Hello. Hello, everybody. Here's my part 4 of my live stream CorelDraw Acting Like Photoshop, part 4. Okay. So now, so this part 4 is all about using power clip and some reflection. So everybody knows about power clip, right? So for example, in this power clip or isolating an area of an image, right? So for example, here, this is the griffin. This is our mascot here in Guelph, University of Guelph. And say for example, I want to cut this out and put it in a different background. So for example, this is my background here. I'm going to transfer this image into this background here. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate it without going to Photoshop. Okay. So now the first thing you have to do when you're doing power clip is that for me, it really depends upon what you want, but for me, I normally go to view and I click on grayscale. Sorry, not grayscale, simple wireframe. Because in simple wireframe, then it's easier to see compared to just the enhanced view. Because when you use the Bezier tool, I use Bezier tool for masking an image or isolating an object or an area in a photograph, because the lines are black and it's difficult to see if it's colored, right? But if this is grayscale like this one, using the wireframe, it's easier to see the Bezier lines. Okay, so I'm going to start from here. So make sure you have a starting point, and I'm just gonna go quickly here because I'm just demonstrating the use of power clip. I mean, I'm not gonna be too accurate, but of course, if you have a project, you can spend more time on it. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this up. Okay. Another tip too, for example, so say for example you're putting the path, right? So make sure you don't leave white space. You go inside, more inward to your image. Okay, so when I say inward, so for example this is the line. Okay, so you notice that I'm going inside, not outside, because if you go outside, then after power clipping, it's going to have a white or a different background. Okay, so I'm gonna go quickly here. So power, I don't know why it's doing this, but okay, and then I would zoom out. Anyway, I'll just do this quick. The good thing in CorelDraw when you're doing this, you don't need to create layers. Not like in Photoshop, you have to create layers, and and then when you're creating layers, it's more memory hungry. Like for example, it needs more memory to do that. But with this one, we're only using one layer, so it's less, less stress for the computer. Okay, so we're almost done here. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, so that's the path. Almost done. Okay, and then here, there, and I'm going to go to my starting point. So for my starting point, if you go closer to the starting point, an arrow will show up. So that's what you want. That's what you want to click on when the arrow is visible. So when the arrow is visible, just click, and that's it. And you also notice that I move it over, because that doesn't matter if it's over here. Okay, so now I'm going back to my view and then click on wireframe. This is what I'm saying when you're doing wireframe and then it's difficult to see the line, okay, the black line. That's why I always go to wireframe. Okay, but for enhance, that's it, right? Now what I normally do too is I color the path that I made. Okay, so I'm gonna call this path, so I just color it with gray or any color you want. The reason why it's easier to select, because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna click on the image, like the original image, and then we go to object and then power clip, and then place inside the frame. So the frame is the path that we created. So when you click on place inside the frame, since we have this colored, it's easier to select. Okay, so click here, and that's it, right? And automatically it masks, it isolates the thing, right? So now since I put an outline, right, there's an outline, I'm gonna remove the outline. So for removing the outline, you just right mouse click here to the to this X icon here for no fill. No outline. So now there's no outline. Okay. Now where's the other image? It's still there. Okay. We're just isolating this one. Okay. Just to prove, if I click on this one, okay, and then I go to objects and then power clip, and then in power clip you can go edit power clip, because you can still edit the power clip even though you already put it inside the frame. So if I click on edit power clip, see, it's still there, right? And then this blue thing here, that's the back path you created. Okay, yeah, so that's the power clip. I mean, that's, I'm just showing you that you can still the background is still there. So I'm gonna go back to object, go to power clip, and then go to finish editing this level. So now I'm ready to put this one into a different background there. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the original image here. I'm gonna paste it. No, that's not the one. Sorry about that. maybe I'll just duplicate that because I want to see the original image. So I duplicated it, and then here, let's say I want to extract the photo here. I just go of object, power clip, and then extract content. Okay, so the content is still there. Just gonna put it side by side. Then you can just delete this because we don't need it. So then you can go side by side here, and so you can see what we achieved. Okay, so now sometimes you were in a hurry, and then let's say I'm just gonna zoom in here, and then you want to clean some lines. For example, okay, let's just, for example, this one here, you want to clean this line, right? So click on that isolated object, okay, and then you go to your shape tool. So in shape tool, you can see these nodes here. You can edit those ones. See, for example, here, I'm gonna edit that because that shouldn't be there, right? See what I'm doing right now? I'm using the shape tool to reshape the path that we made. So for example, this I want to make it a curve, so I click on it and then click on curve, convert to curve, and then I can reshape it like that. Okay. So I'm just showing you that you can still edit the path. Okay. So for example, here you want it to be more rounded, so you click on the line and then click on convert to curves, and then you can just reshape it like that. Okay, so now that's one technique. So changing the background is using power clip. Now let's see what else we can do here to make it more realistic, right? Now sometimes you want an effect like a glowing effect, right? Let's just say, for example, we're gonna make this glow, right? Or maybe we'll just use a drop shadow first. Click on drop shadow. I'm gonna zoom in here. Since it's power clipped already, okay, we can now cast some drop shadow. So I'm gonna do drop shadow here. So you notice that there's a drop shadow created, okay, and then that's how you control the darkness of the drop shadow. Now say for example, I don't want black, I want it like like white. I want this to glow, so you can control that in the property bar. So this is the property bar, so you go make it, I'm just gonna make it say kind of like orangey like this, or something like that. Okay, and if you notice there, it kind of glows now. And then you can play around with this one if it's normal, so that's normal, and subtract. So you can you can add. That's actually really a nice one. So anyway, I'm just gonna choose, actually I want to choose add. So that looks interesting. So anyway, and then you can also, you can still what do you call this, adjust the placement of the drop shadow. For example, you want to put it more to the right, something like that. There, something like that. So that's another way. You can also change the color, because right now that's this color, and I believe we can change it even by clicking on this. Oh no, you can't. Sorry, I was mistaken. It's only in here because this is the drop shadow property. So for example, I just want to make it white, just to make it like that. It's white. Okay. So that's one. And then let's say I'm gonna do an experiment here. I'm gonna grab this and then copy it or duplicate. So plus sign in the keyboard. I'm gonna move it over into this side here. So now what I want to achieve here is I want to put like a a reflection going down. But before that, I'm going to reshape this one. I'm gonna cut this off. See, I'm still in Power Clip, but I can still control my lines. So here, I'm in my shape tool. I select these nodes and I'm going to minus, so delete nodes. See, those are nodes. Okay, I'm gonna delete these nodes too. Okay, and then now this one, because it's a curve, I want to make a straight line. Just click on this one here, convert to line. Okay, so don't panic if the part of the book is lost, because it's still in there. Okay, so when you're in the line here, you can just double click and then move it out, so you can see the rest of the object, the rest of the book. So what I normally do is I just go like this, double click. So double click is adding 9 lines. Okay, so for example here, double click and bring it down there. Okay, yeah, so that's how you modify. Now I'm gonna do like a reflection kind of thing here. So when I click on this image, right, I go plus sign in your keyboard. So when I say plus sign, it's the one in your keyboard in the left side if you have those numbers in the keypad. That's the plus sign. So plus sign duplicates your selected object, but it's going to be on top of each other. So plus sign keyboard. So you've got 2 objects here now, right? Exactly the same. I'm going to do undo here. So what you do to make a reflection, you select that and then bring it down like that. Okay, so you bring it down. Now the normal reflection would be, it won't start here. So what I want you to do is to move it up like that. Okay, but then this one is in the foreground right now, so you have to make this to the background. So you go to objects, order, to back of page. So now it's behind the our original objects. Now that's the reflection, but say I want to make it more realistic, because obviously reflection won't be this sharp, right? So what I have to do is I have to go change this to a bitmap. And then depends if you're printing this small scale, so it's going to be 300 dpi. And then make sure that anti-aliasing is checked and also transparent background is checked. Okay, so once you're done with that, just click OK. Okay, so now you have to understand that this is a bitmap anymore. You cannot edit the path anymore because it's a bitmap with a transparent background. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my transparency tool. So click on your transparency tool and then click and drag going down. Okay, see right now that's more realistic, because the reflections really are not as sharp as the original object. Okay, now again, to make it more realistic, let's say I'm gonna put like just gonna put the background here like that. Okay, let's say I'm gonna go with maybe blue like that. Okay, I'm gonna remove the outline, right mouse click here, and I'm gonna go order to back of page. Okay, so now notice that it's more realistic now. It's like the reflection. Okay, so actually right now I'm not really happy with this one, because it has like a white line here. Okay, since this is power clip, I can still edit that by going to your shape tool. Okay, and then I'm going to add more nodes like that. See, it's removed now, the white. Gonna hide that. Also gonna hide this one because I don't want this here. Okay, but this one here, notice this one, I should put the tail, right? So I'm gonna add one here, one node, and I'm gonna add one more node here too, and then click on the center and then convert to curve, and then I'm gonna make it a curve like that. Okay, and then see this one, I don't want that because it doesn't look good when it's reflected. Okay, so now let's see the difference here. Yeah, I like this better now, right? So now what you can do too is you can add another color. Let's say from here to here. I'm gonna bring it up like that. And sure, we'll just make it light blue like that. Right mouse click on that, and then we go object, order to back of page. Yeah, so it's nice. Now if you want to make transparency too, I'm gonna click on this one, click on your transparency tool, and I'm gonna click here and drag going down. Okay, the direction where you drag it is the basis of your transparency. Okay, so this one here, I'm dragging it down, right? So what would happen, I'm just going to undo here. Oops, redo. So what would happen if I go from here going up, drag it upside up, going up like that? Okay, so now it's the reverse, right? The lighter blue will go up, not down. Okay, this actually is also a nice effect. Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. Okay, so that is, so let's just see the development of our picture here. So we started on this one, we power clipped it, remove the background, and then added a new background, and then put a glow on it. So that's another effect. And then we also remove the this one here, and then we made a reflection. Yeah. Now let's see what else we can do here. Let's say we want to put some highlights here. Yeah. Let's say reflection, and then we want to make this glossier. So what you can do, you can still go to the Bezier tool. Just gonna experiment here. Let's just go play, because creativity really is play, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to create shapes like this, and then you're gonna see why I did this. Okay, so that's a shape, and I click on white, right? And then right mouse click here to remove. So I'm gonna play around with the transparency, all going up, oh, going down, there, going down. And then let's see it from afar. Yeah. Okay, so this one should be a curve. It's better to have a curve. So you go to your shape tool, click on this, curve, that, double click to delete, click on this one, and then you go curve. Okay, you know, as a graphic designer, you really have to be detail oriented, wherein you shouldn't be satisfied to you know, like, oh, it's fine, they won't notice that. They won't, yes, they won't notice it, but you know, you notice it yourself, right? So the more detailed you are, the better. Yeah, see, like that, that's better now. Okay, so for example here, I want to make it shiny here. Again, we're just playing, right? So I'm gonna click here, here. You can also click and then you go like this to make a curve. It's not a straight line, but a curve like that. Okay, I'm just gonna move it here and then I'm gonna close that. Okay. And then put white. Okay. Remove the outline, right mouse click on this and go to your transparency tool. Click going up, drag it going up. No, sorry, going down. There. And you can play around where the transparency would end, and that one the direction too. Let's see if there's an effect. Where's the original one? I'm just gonna copy this. Plus sign the keyboard. Okay. We are going to put this side by side and see if there's a difference. Like when we added some highlight. See, that's the highlight we added. There's no highlight here. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Does it look better? It's more graphic, but that's fine. Okay, so side by side. Now we're gonna play with this one here. So if the sun is from here and then it hits it here, so maybe we can put it somewhere here, like that. Close. And then white, right mouse click, and then up, going down, and then change the direction. And this one here, edit it, click here, and then convert to curves, and then reshape it so it's more realistic. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's see by side. This or this. Okay. Let's say for the eyes here, what else can we do here? If you want to emphasize this, like for example that one, so what we can do, we can play around with this. I'm just gonna go around like this. So when you're doing graphics in Corel, don't be afraid to experiment or play, because in the playing or experiment you would discover your own style. That's how I did it. That's how I did my style, because I experiment. I'm not afraid of experimenting. And what's the worst thing that would happen is that your graphic won't be successful, but so what, right? Because you're the only one who would see it. I mean, initially, right? You're the one who's gonna see your failure, but it's not really failure because it's experiment, right? See, like for example, right now, it doesn't look good, right? So I'll just scrap the idea and do something else, right? So maybe what I'll do is I'm gonna put two circles, right? So say for example this one here, and then what did I lose, right? By experimenting, it's my time, but then my skill is getting better. And while you're experimenting, you master CorelDraw. You're the master of CorelDraw now. I mean, you're not afraid to do to do something with CorelDraw like that. Okay, so what I've done here is I made 2 circles. Now, why did I put this one here? The reason why is because I want to do like a, like a really nice curve. That's why I use circle, right? Now, why did I put this one? Because I'm going to use the Smart Fill tool. So if you click on the Smart Fill tool, I'm just going to click this because that's the only thing I want, right? And then just ignore the color because the color can be changed. So this I can delete, this I can delete, this one, and this one. And then I'll make this white and then remove the outline. Now I can put the transparency. Maybe going down. There you go. So it's going down, not up. Okay. Maybe that, for me, I think this is fine now. Maybe I can even go like this. Okay. Now let's look it from afar. If you compare this one to this, I think this is fine. Like for me, I like this one. Or maybe you can, for example, here you can make another circle. Don't be afraid of experimenting. It's fun. So I'll make that black. Right mouse click here to remove outline, and then I'm just gonna make a transparency like that. There, I'm gonna make it go closer, just to make it more defined. Okay, now let's compare the eyes of this and this one here. Okay, this is more graphic and I like this better. And then say for example here I want this to stand out more, to be more of the foreground. So I'm just gonna experiment here. Because using CorelDraw and also as a graphic designer, you're going to develop your own style. And the style is discovered. You'll discover your style by using CorelDraw. That's the only way. It's just like an artist. Okay, the artist will discover their style when they're just experimenting, doing stuff with their painting. So what I did, instead of white, I'm gonna do black. So I'm gonna go transparency here and click and drag going up. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then I can also reshape this still. Shape it like that. Yeah, it's fine. Like it stands out better now. Or maybe I'm not really too happy with this because of this one. This shouldn't cut there, right? Well, I can still fix that. Okay, so you click on that and go to bitmap, convert to bitmap. So I'm gonna change this to a bitmap. Click OK, and then I'm just going to add transparency here again. Hit that one. See, it's gone, right? But my, but the shade that I created is still there. Yeah. So I know you're watching. Just wonder if you have any questions for me or any clarification. Just gonna move that there. And let's do more playing here. Okay. So maybe what I'll do, I'm just gonna go get the university logo, University of Guelph logo. Okay, my CorelDraw froze. Just have to wait. Okay, so I'm gonna import the logo here, and then let's do like just gonna experiment on and using a watermark for my CorelDraw. Ooh, okay, so University of Guelph. Okay, I can't do this because I can't import. Anyway, I'll get it from the web. Is that here? Anyway, I can't really find that logo, but oh, let's play a different. Okay, so for example, I'm just gonna make a line here from here to here. Okay, so now I'm going to again just experiment like that. So what I'll do, I'll make this a thicker line. Double click here. And then I'll make it say 3 pixels. You can also use points. And then white, click OK. Okay, it's white, but you really can't see it, so I'll just make it 5 points or 5 pixels, or maybe 8 pixels. Okay, 8 pixels is fine. So for 8 pixels, what I'll do, so I'm gonna click on plus sign the keyword and then move it, right? Move the second one and then Control D to duplicate. See what I'm doing right now? I'm duplicating it. Okay. Now don't worry about the overlapping, because we're going to fix that overlapping. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put an effect like there's a crosshatch in there, right? So now I'm gonna select the reflection and the image, and I'll put it not power clip, order to front of page there, right? I'm also going to put this to front of page, the front of page. Oops, sorry, not the front of page. Now let's fix this one. So this one is overlapping, right? So if I'm going to go to view and then simple wireframe, the problem is these lines here are not inside this box, right? So what I'll do, I'm going to select just the lines, okay? So I have to deselect the original image. Okay, what I do, I just delete. Just want to make sure it is that what I selected. Okay, and then I'll do Control Z. So that's the one. And what I'll do, I'm gonna move this. Oh, sorry, I should deselect also this rectangle there, and I'm gonna move it somewhere that it's gonna be, you know, all the, oops, you know what, that's my mistake here. Okay, there should be a better way. Okay, now this is the better way. So I'm gonna go to view again and then go to enhance view. Okay, so okay, here's the better way. I'm gonna move this to over to the right side. Okay. And then this lines here, I can put that inside the box. Oops, I shouldn't choose the box. That I can enlarge it. Okay, that. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna group this object, and I'm gonna put this into this container here. Container is this one here. Okay, so I go to object, power clip, place inside the frame, and the frame would be this one here. There. See how easy it is? I just put it inside because that's the power clip. I power clipped all the lines, put it inside it, and then now I can drag this over to the right side, I mean to the left side. Yeah. So now let's add some personality to this blue thing here. See, watch me. I'm gonna duplicate this again. So plus sign your keyboard, and I'll make it black. Okay. So why did I make it black? So that what I'll do here, I'm gonna put transparency, click and drag going down, and there. Okay, so now this one has gradient now. This looks more interesting now, right? So that's just a play, right? Just playing with elements here. Okay, so what else can we do here? Okay, I'm going to group all this together. Okay, I'll group it. And did you know that you can power clip a power clipped objects already? Power clip within a power clip. Okay, so my final one would be, I'll make an ellipse here like that, and then I'm going to power, since it's grouped together, right? I'm going to choose this one, which is not that one, it's this one here. That's the group together. And I'm going to go object, power clip, place inside the frame, and then my frame would be this one here. See that? And I'm going to remove the outline. Or I could probably make it with an outline. So I'm going to right mouse click here and then make it thicker, maybe. Instead of hairline, I go like maybe 10 pixels, click OK. Maybe that kind of outline. I'm gonna move this one. Let's play around with this. Okay. So what else can we do here? So let's say, for example, we want to make it like a pendant or something. So I'm gonna draw here, bring it down, right? So now this one here, I want to copy that shape, right? I can do plus in the keyboard, but there's another shortcut too. If you go to object and then you go to shaping, boundary, click on boundary. So what it did, it took the boundary off the ellipse, right? And then here, so if I move that one, so that's the boundary, right? Control Z. Because what I want to do is I want to contour this. I want to make it a bigger one, right? So I'm going to hold down my shift key and then move this. Okay. And then I'm just going to make it like gray. And then put object order to back of page. Looks fine. Okay. I'm going to move this over there first. Now, I'm not really happy with this outline here. So maybe what I'll do, say for example, I want to get this color here. Okay. Here's a trick. What I do, sometimes I just go like this. And then I go to my color eyedropper. So I want this color here, this sample of, say, this kind of blue. I click here and then pour, right? So that's the color I wanted. And I'm going to drag this on to my, here, to my colors. Okay. So now I have this color there already. So I can delete that. So I'm going to click this one here and I want the outline to be this. So I'm going to right mouse click and that's it. I think it's this one. It's not that black. There. So I like that color. Right. Now, what else can I do here? See, I want this to make it more interesting, right? I want this to be, so I'm gonna click on this one and I'm gonna get a boundary again, object, shaping, and then make boundary. So I have an ellipse there, right? Now what I'll do, I'm going to make it black. Okay, so that's black. So now I'm gonna make it smaller. So I'm just playing here. And then I'm gonna, you know what? Instead of black, I'll make it white. I'll remove the outline. And I'm gonna use the transparency tool and click and then drag again. Oh, see, that's nice. Now it looks like it's You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nice. It's like it's rounded. That's getting interesting, and I'm enjoying it now because, you know, from scratch we were doing experimenting, and you know what I like here? It's like a painting that, you know, you don't know the outcome of your graphics, but because it's more like the adventure, like you enjoy the adventure. So let's go back here, and then what I can do here too, a plus sign in the keyboard, and then I'm going to mirror. Oh, see, mirror does it too. But what if I click on plus sign on the keyboard and then mirror it vertically? That's okay, but not really happy with this one here. But then I can adjust it, right? Adjust the transparency. Maybe, yeah, maybe like that. I'm okay with that one, like that. It's good. So now this one, yeah, not really happy. I'm just gonna make it that. Right. I can make that black or this color here. But now I'm not too happy with this one here. What if I make that white? No. And I'll just keep it that color. Okay, so now spent a lot of time here already. It looks like I'm enjoying it, but you know, I think sometimes too, for a graphic artist or graphic designer, you have to learn when to stop, because you can't overdo a graphic, right? Because if too much time is spent, too much time, and sometimes it's getting complex and complex and complex, and sometimes the purpose of creating it is, you know, it's not reasonable anymore. So I would say I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop here. I like what I'm seeing right now, and I'm just gonna stop. So that's fine. So now we can see the evolution of what we're doing. Did that and did this, and then made a reflection, and we added some highlights, and I think that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here to my any questions so far? So here for this, I'm gonna end this soon, but the point here that I'm making this video, I didn't thought about this, like this wasn't planned. Like I think I like this kind of setup because not like before I was doing tutorials and that was all planned, you know, planned, rehearsed. It was planned, it was rehearsed, and it's not spontaneous. But for this one, I really didn't plan this one. I just took a picture, and then it's more of like the adventure. I think I like this kind of streaming because it's more human, it's natural, and you can see how I think, how I design, and you can see the adventure that I'm putting on. And what do you think? Any comments or feedback? Because it's exciting for me, because if for example tomorrow I'm gonna do it again, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know what. I probably would pick another 2 images, but I don't know what, you know, where it would go. Okay. So if you're a student, or if you're working in a graphics or an advertising company, just enjoy your graphics. Don't be scared. Try something, you know. In CorelDraw, I've been trying a lot of things already with this. I want to push the capabilities of CorelDraw. what it can do. And I've been using this for 20 years now. No, more than 20 years, maybe 25 years now. And I like CorelDraw, and it's like my weapon. It's like my weapon in a battle. But again, the more you use it, try new things. I know sometimes you want to play safe. You want to stick to your style. You want to stick to your design that you no don't stop learning, because you'll experiment. Like all of these techniques that I've used in my tutorials, I've got 300 tutorials, more than 300 tutorials. These are all self-learned, and I didn't go for school in CorelDraw. I just use it, try different things, and when you're trying different things, you stumble upon a technique that you would remember and you would like, and that's it. Okay, so anyway, this is too much now, and I hope you like my streaming, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.